Man, Rennie Harlan used to make movies like Cliffhanger and The Long Kiss Goodnight. What happened? What happened? So The Strangers Chapter 3 is the third movie in the Strangers trilogy, fifth Strangers movie overall, and The Strangers Chapter 3 pretty much picks up immediately where Chapter 2 left off, and now you have The Strangers still going after Cheryl Blossom from Riverdale. That's pretty much the gist of the movie, I guess. We can start off with, we always gotta start with the positives. There are a couple of things that I have kind of enjoyed about these three movies. One is that this one and the previous one kind of play out with very minimal dialogue. They almost play like silent films. Not a lot of speaking. It's just a lot of screaming and panting and being out of breath and just the sounds of stabby, 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 stab. Also, Madeline Petch, Cheryl Blossom from Riverdale. She's been mostly good in these movies. I mean, pretty believable scream queen performance that she's given. I mainly think of the one scene when she's in that car in the second film. I'm talking about a scene from the last movie. If that doesn't tell you where the review for this film itself is going. There's that scene when she's in the car with all those people that she thinks might be strangers, but she just looks terrified out of her mind. It's the best. It's the scene in the movie that I didn't hate. But again, circling back to the whole no dialogue thing, she does very well with no dialogue whatsoever. She's got a dialogue scene in the beginning, probably utters like one or two words throughout the other hour, 15 minutes of movie, and then she says some lines at the end, but for the most part, dialogue-free performance. A performance that hinges on her body language and her movement and her eyes. But then, it has all the other dumb, generic things that have been happening in these movies. And it does hinge a lot on you remembering things that happened in Chapter 2, Chapter 1, which I gotta be honest, I don't really remember a lot of what happened in those movies. Chapter 2 came out 5 months ago, and I can't tell you a lot of what happened in that movie. But I do know, for one thing, this movie suffers from the same problems that the other two Stranger chapters suffered from, which is that it tries to flesh out the lore of the Strangers. Like in this one, they try to make it a big reveal, like, oh my god, this whole tiny, small town has been on it from the beginning. Flesh out the fact that Joe Chill from Batman Begins is the main Baghead Stranger's dad, which is kind of funny, because the Baghead Stranger it's Joe Chill from Batman Begins is his dad, and that Baghead Stranger kind of looks like Scarecrow from Batman Begins. But I'm just saying it's a cool thing that I noticed. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, the town has been in on it, because, there's a whole... This might be spoilers. Do you fucking care? Yeah, the whole reveal is that, when the Strangers were kids and they killed Tamara, that's the origin of Tamara, when everyone's like, is Tamara home? There's another flashback in this movie where it's like, oh yeah, the kid killed again, and so the dad says, hey, I knew you're probably a serial killer, you're Dexter Morganing it right now. Instead of Harry's Code, where he goes after other serial killers, it's like, hey, just don't go after townsfolk. There's only 400 people that live here. And so yeah, I guess the whole town just kind of knows that this is happening, and just the root of evil or something. I don't know. What's the moral of the story? The moral of the story of the first one was just violence can happen at any time, at any random like, why are you doing this? Because you were home. That is the whole thesis of the original Strangers movie. And what's the moral of the story for this whole trilogy is don't go to small towns, I guess. Don't ever go to a small town in a Midwestern flyover state. Just keep driving. Don't stop at any motels. Don't stop at any diners. Just keep driving. There's a side plot where her family comes in and they're kind of looking for her, and it kind of goes nowhere. They've been building up to it for the past two movies, and then it just kind of fizzles out, much like this movie kind of just fizzles out. Also, there's like a reveal with who the Baghead Scarecrow Stranger is, which, I mean, I don't know if it was meant to be this shocking, oh my god, that suit's been under the mask the whole time. But, I kind of knew that. Kind of knew that since chapter 2. If you were trying to treat it as a shocking reveal that was supposed to blow my mind, you didn't do a very good job with it. Night scenes are dimly lit. Can't really tell what's going on. The whole premise of like, hey, you're one of us. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about that. They rope in Cheryl Blossom to be a stranger because she killed one of the other strangers in the other movies. So now they're like, well, we're kind of a trio around here, so we need a third person. So I guess it's kind of a thing of like, if you kill that stranger, you take that stranger's place. And now, but she doesn't want to be a stranger, so she's just kind of standing there while they're doing all their stranger things. Stranger things. And then, I mean, yeah. So yeah, simple review because the movie's kind of simple. It's just a movie that kind of just exists in a vacuum. Nothing really interesting happens. Dimly lit, some night scenes where I just could not fucking tell what was going on. Side plots that we've been building up to that just go nowhere. Madeline Petch, still insanely hot. Still solid enough performance. Yeah, overall, these 3 movies, man. And even Strangers Prey at Night kind of makes me look back on the first one from like almost 20 years ago. I saw that first Strangers movie once. And it kind of makes me think, was it ever really that good? Or have these movies just, if I watched The Strangers now, would I be like, wow, that's what The Strangers is supposed to be? Anyway, point is, yeah, Strangers Chapter 3, much of the same. Boring, uninteresting plot, boring, uninteresting kills, trying to flesh out the lore in boring and uninteresting ways. So much nothing, and then the end just kind of leaves you thinking, so you want to do more? Please don't. Please don't do more. I will say, though, major props to whoever was on the team for all these 3 movies that managed to get Lionsgate to bankroll all 3 of them back to back to back. That's some baller negotiating skills right there. By the way, man, what the fuck were these movies? Say again, Rennie Harlan used to make movies like The Long Kiss Goodnight and Cliffhanger. What the fuck happened? Went from making some great god-tier cheesy 90s action goodness to generic 2020s horror schlock. Rennie, you're better than this. I know because I've seen it. So anyway, yeah, that's Strangers Chapter 3. Did you see it? Have you seen all 3 of them? Probably uploading this after the game. So did the team you wanted to win the Super Bowl win the Super Bowl? If they did, and you're happy about it, or if they didn't and you're sad about it, you can just air those grievances out. Sound off in the comments. And if you like what you've seen, you can click right here. And I'll see you guys next time.